Yes. So we can go to bed by at least 2 a.m.
Yes.
tonight.
Thank God.
All right, all right.
Stop, hold on with that Eastern time zone privilege.
Wow, dude. All right.
Yes, that's right. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 203 of the KBMOD podcast. It is August 23rd, 2015, and we've got the normal ragtag crew here.
Oh, zany times!
Zabooper! Or whatever, I don't know what happens.
Dave and Wolf in the morning!
I don't know what happens.
The whole zany morning circus is here.
I hope this is a quick podcast.
Except for...
Same.
Except for John. John is not with us. I think he was at a LAN.
He was.
John Cena?
No.
John! Oh.
Maybe as a guest some week. Dan, we have to update your guest list doc with John Cena as a possible
John
grab.
Cena.
I agree with that.
That would be great. In that case, then I bet he could definitely use his own theme on the podcast to entrance and introduce himself.
You know who we could get?
Who could we get?
We could actually get Xavier Woods, probably. You guys don't know who that is because you don't follow wrestling, but he does a lot of gaming YouTube stuff.
Mm.
But in his as the real dude that he is, not like anything in character.
Oh, okay.
Which is, it's kind of a strange change from the.
That could be a goal.
Yeah, and his channel is actually pretty funny. So.
All right. Well, yeah. We've got. I mean, there's a lot. This podcast. We've actually got a lot to get to, especially because ESL One happened, and I'm just roaring at the bit to talk about that.
Chomping, you might say.
Yeah,
chomping at the bit.
Did I say roaring?
So
you did.
Roaring.
Yeah, I think
roaring at the bit.
Phrase you should use.
Roaring. Well, what if you were a lion that was held by a horse bit? You'd be roaring probably if it was in your
probably. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, so that's what you meant.
I think.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Get it.
I think you mixed up two phrases. I think you mixed chomping at the bit and roaring into your own ass.
Oh, maybe I might have. The problem.
I think that's what.
The problem
seriously, there's this guy that follows me on Twitter that just occasionally favorites tweets of mine. I don't know if he follows any of you guys, but his name on Twitter is just screams into own ass, and it cracks me up every time, every single time. And he doesn't favorite stuff often enough that I'm like, oh, it's just old screams into own ass again. Because it's long enough in between that I forget about him, and then he's just there again. God bless you, screams into own ass.
You brighten Blah's Twitter day.
He really does, man.
Very nice.
He makes
little things in life that keep you going.
It really is.
But yeah, so let's talk about what we've been doing, what we've been playing. Let's start off with what we've been doing. We can, if anybody has anything to share, go ahead. I won't call on anybody, but only if something fun and interesting happened. Again, I will use the example I have used probably 10 million times at this point. If anyone went to a flea market, that is something that should be shared. I won't point anybody out.
I mean, if you're only interested in us when we actually did interesting things, I think I've done here.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're setting the bar really high with the flea market example.
It is high. With the
Blah just cutting it on that note. I did an interesting thing.
Okay,
I met a KBMOD dude, Georgie Beats, who has been following us for years and years and years. He was part of the KBMOD EU crew back in the day when that was a thing. Apparently,
our EU division, I think we call them.
They still have a team speak and hang out with Ruas Guda, Mr. Ross Geddes, who told me some hilarious stories about Ross and what Ross is up to. But met him, he was in Pittsburgh, just him and some friends from the UK were just road tripping across the US a little bit. So
that's pretty cool.
Stopped in Pittsburgh, so I got to meet him. And it was pretty awesome to do that. You don't get to meet someone from the UK who's a fan that often.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because, they don't make it to PAXs and things like that either. So that was pretty cool. But that's about it for me. But that was, that was cool. It was very, very fun to chat with him for an evening.
All right. Very cool. Connecting with the KBMOD Euro audience, very important.
That's right.
Very important to be able to do that. Would you guys have some brewskis or what?
Yeah, we went out to a bar. Had a good night.
Okay. Okay.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's good. So Dan set the bar. That wasn't like the greatest thing I've ever heard, but that was pretty decent. Does anybody have anything else?
We did a
Like
barbecue at Max's place
Oh
yesterday.
God! All right. Anybody else? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was an interesting barbecue. Interesting shit happened. So we realized that somehow, I don't know how, but one base that we didn't cover in everybody. Anytime our group of friends I think gets together, it's just this, and I'm sure a lot of other friend groups are like this too. It's just like in our group chat, it's just a constant flurry of like, oh, what do we need? What can I pick up? Does anybody need this? And everybody's just like overly obnoxiously helpful.
Yeah.
And somehow, despite all that, nobody got cider. Not a single person picked up any cider. So big oversight because a lot of us drink cider. So that's
okay. I needed the background. I needed the background. I was really confused.
That's the douche. Anyway, this is interesting. So we go on a cider run. No, this is when it gets interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We go on a cider run to a Mexican supermarket.
Okay.
And that is, if you've never been to a Mexican supermarket, it is like the coolest shit ever because it's literally just like stepping into a stereotypical portrayal of Mexico. It is. It is because like the second you step in there, everything is like bright reds and greens, and literally on the radio is like it's like serious, like it's like mariachi music and shit. Yeah. I swear to God, there's piñatas everywhere and streamers. It's not a holiday. It's just Mexico, 24/7.
It's somebody's quinceañera somewhere. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just know that.
It's so that was pretty interesting. So we end up not getting a whole lot of cider because apparently Mexicans aren't that into cider. So
wait, so there was no cider.
Some Corona and Dos Equis instead.
No, we grabbed like 2 6-packs of Reds, which is like the shittiest cider in my opinion. Like the shittiest widely available cider is Reds. So we grabbed like 2 6-packs of Reds, head back, and as we're like checking out, we're like, let's get a piñata. So we get this like tiny. We get this tiny, shitty pirate piñata, and Max starts streaming on Periscope, that like mobile streaming service.
Oh.
And we're all taking shots. Like we have this little like broom handle to hit this thing with. We don't even hang it from anything. We just stand it up on the floor, and everybody's kind of like goofing off and like taking lazy swings at it. And then I come up and I just kind of just underhand swung because it was like all the way on the ground and just ripped its fucking head off, and it's like exploded into candy like all into the backyard. It was fun. I'm basically just right now just describing what a piñata does. I realized that.
I was waiting for somebody to say that. But
yeah.
No, that's.
But
I've honestly never been in a Mexican market myself, so.
Yeah, if you ever get the chance, just like go for it because they're actually
have more than a couple down in the Strip in Pittsburgh, so.
Yeah.
I know
there's
exactly
probably,
what you mean.
There's probably an area where there's like a fair amount of them, and you'll be able to find some delicious stuff. And so obviously we filled it with candy that we found in that store, right? So we filled it with all like the Mexican candy, and it turns out that Mexicans put like chili in every single one of their candies, like every single one, pretty much. I don't know why, but that's just a thing. It's spicy candy. There's no sweet. There's like a little bit of sweet, and some of them are like they're sweet at first, and then you get to the center, and oh my god, it's spicy again! Haha, gotcha, you dumbass. So we didn't realize it. None of us knew this.
Troll face candy, I see. All right.
But like none of us knew that except for Max and Solly, who were both Hispanic, and just didn't bother to tell anybody. And everybody starts eating this candy. It's like, oh god, it's so hot, and they were just like, yeah, what? What did you expect? Like they were just like, this is normal, and we were just like, thanks for the fucking warning. But that was about all I did. Okay. Oh, I brought my Super Nintendo over too. We played Super Nintendo. That was sweet.
Nice.
Okay. Anybody else, or should we jump into what we've been playing this week? Unless somebody else has any more happenings.
I mean, to follow that amazing story, I've like made my own breakfast today, and it was pretty great.
I saw your tweet. I couldn't. Were you eating? Were there sausage patties in your picture? Yeah. They looked a little well done, but it might have been the lighting.
It was probably both. The thing is, when I'm cooking raw meat, I'm so like I have this fear that I'm gonna undercook them.
Oh, are you a well done guy? Oh no.
No, I'm not. But when I'm doing the cooking, like if I'm cooking something that I know has the ability to poison me if I don't do it right, I generally err on the side of like making sure it's done.
Fair enough.
But I mean, with sausage like that, there's like a very wide range of it tastes the same, and so they tasted great. But yeah, they did look a little bit.
They look a little cooked. But other than that, the toast. What kind of jam? What did your jelly you had on there?
Was it was like some strawberry. Yeah, it was like it had some whole strawberries in it. It was pretty good. And the best thing about cooking with like with sausage or chorizo or something is that you cook the sausage and then you cook the eggs in the grease.
So delicious.
Which makes it that's the way to go. It's like a better taste than cooking it with butter or just like not using anything.
Yeah, sure.
So, I tend to go with like cooking spray myself, but if you do the bacon fat thing, it's really delicious, but obviously a lot less healthy.
Yeah. Exactly. But things that are good for you don't taste good. So
something out of the ordinary, since I normally don't cook for myself at all.
Yeah, no, that's pretty big.
One more small thing. This is a small thing, but this is like a pro tip thing. So we all have headsets and whatnot, and I'm wearing a different one this week. If you're watching this live, or it
matches your shirt, by the way, too.
Yeah. So these are my Sennheiser HD280s from like 9 years ago. I think I bought these in like 2006 or something like that. And over the years, obviously, the pads on these things, those tend to go. If you have a pair that even lasts long enough, technically, to have them wear out, those will get ripped to shreds and fall apart. So I finally was like, you know what? I really like those headphones. I'm going to actually go out and get replacement pads. So I got these Brainwaves, they're called, and it's spelled in that stupid fucking way that lots of things are spelled these days. WAVZ. Brainwaves, bro. These Brainwave pleather memory foam replacement pads for these, and I cannot recommend them enough. Like, I know that Tim and Bob had both gotten these before as well, but these, I streamed for 7 hours Saturday, and like there was no fatigue, no soreness or anything from these. Like, they are so comfortable. It feels like I'm not even wearing headphones. They're super lightweight too, and they're like $18 or something, which a lot of the companies have replacement pads that cost a lot more than that because you're buying directly from the manufacturer that way. But these also fit on like tons of different stuff. They wouldn't fit, I don't think, on like Astros or something like Blah's wearing right now that are more square. I think you would have to get something else for that, but
yeah, it seems like that would be the one thing that would cause a...
They are made for more like Audio-Technica M50s, M40. I mean, they fit tons of different brands, but more the round shape, obviously. But I cannot recommend them enough. So there you go. That was it. But they're that comfortable that I wanted to recommend those.
Okay. You know what? All said and done, not like the craziest week ever, but some interesting tidbits in there.
Hey, it's okay. I didn't want to fucking talk.
Oh, you have
Fenton.
One. Okay, go.
I don't want to fucking say anything. No, whatever.
No, go ahead.
I saw some photos of you out and about.
Fenton's taking modeling photos.
I know.
Nice Coors Light.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
No, none of that is really important to me. I had triplets.
What?
I had triplets.
Wait. You birthed triplets.
You had them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like in your house?
Yeah, natural birth. At home.
Wow.
I didn't even know you were pregnant.
All three popped them off like a burst from a FAMAS.
Oh my god.
Wait, do you mean you birthed them yourself, or you were the person who
What do you
birthed
fucking
them
think?
from someone
What do you think I
else?
mean, Brandon? I fired them out of my uterus into the world.
Listen, I'm just trying to get the details straight.
Oh my god! Did they, when you fired them in the burst fire method, did they land somewhere like padded, or where did they?
They landed right on a fucking rando's head.
Rando's head. Oh god! All right. On that note,
oh baby, a triple! Thank you, Ro.
Moss with steady aim. All right. What have we been playing this week? Let's start with you, Dan. Go ahead.
Okay. I make notes now for what I played because I'm an old man. Good. So I made notes. I continue NHL 15. I've brought my team back with a few changes because we had been doing very poorly to start the season for people who watch my stream. So I ended up benching a few dudes and calling up some guys from the minors, and things have turned around. Looks like we're going to be making the playoffs again. I also played through all of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. Finally
Thoughts?
got to play that thing.
Okay.
Play it, especially if you're going to get Metal Gear Solid 5. You should definitely play it. I didn't know who everybody was in it. I have not been following that series since basically Metal Gear Solid 1, but it was still super enjoyable. And that game on PC with everything cranked up is like Witcher 3 levels of good looking. Like it is pretty incredible how good that game looks.
How long did it take you to get through it?
I'm terrible, mainly at third person shooting, but also just like at Metal Gear. So it took me like, although I will preface this by saying, of course, there's about 25 minutes worth of cutscenes. So it took me about 2 hours.
Okay.
I think if you're pretty good or have played those games a lot, then you can probably do it in an hour and a half. But I would highly, highly recommend it. It is just, there are parts of that game where you're just like, yep, this is Metal Gear. Like, this is classic, amazing Kojima stuff. Even in just this, what's basically a tech demo. Just, I cannot recommend enough. You should all play Ground Zeroes. And yes, apparently it does come with Metal Gear Solid 5 now. So, but like I was terrible at the stealth. Just not a style of game I play very often. So I was just killing dudes left and right, which lowers your score and stuff really. But the story and the cutscenes, and it's the one game where, you know how a lot of games will put you, like, take you into a cutscene and then kind of go through the whole cutscene and then try to put the player in it while you're playing, kind of like either with a quick time event, or like all of a sudden it transitions out of the cutscene and you're shooting at the guys that in the cutscene.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is the one game where I'm like, I'm so glad they just let it be a 25-minute cutscene. Because you're just like, this is awesome. Like, it's like watching a movie, but it's so well done. I mean, you don't care. You're like, yeah, that's fine. Bring me out of it. Bring me out of playing the game for 20 minutes. I don't care. Also, one of the most brutal scenes, without spoiling the end of Ground Zeroes, or near the end, one of the most brutal scenes in a video game that I have ever seen. Like, it was hard to watch the final cutscene. Very hard to watch because of what happens in it. It's very, very brutal.
Goatsy.
But
It's goatsy.
there's a lot of viscera, yes.
Just
But yeah, definitely play it. Like I said, it's only a couple hours of your time. If you guys haven't played it, just definitely try it. If you have a PS4, it was free at some point, so you can play it on there. Yeah, highly recommend Ground Zeroes. Also played about 5 more hours of Witcher 3. Just continues to be the best game. It's just incredible in every way. I did one quest line that was a side quest and took me 3 hours. But you don't even care. You're just like, this is amazing.
You're
So
right,
I
Dan.
keep
I
going.
don't even care.
I know you don't care.
I do care. I do care.
All right, well, now I don't know what to feel. Also played a bunch of Isaac while I was watching CSGO and a bit of CSGO. Just casual, but hoping that a drop would happen, and it never did.
Yeah. Like you and many sad souls waiting for that drop.
Yep. But that's about it for me.
Okay. All right. Brandon, what about you?
I've mostly been playing a bunch of Rocket League. I played probably all day yesterday. That game is just...
Are you playing ranked yet, or are you just still doing like...
Yeah, no, I've been playing ranked quite a bunch just because... like the ranked, I don't feel a whole lot of pressure playing ranked because it just means that the people probably won't leave, or like there's less of a chance they'll leave.
Yeah,
So the games are generally a little better. And so like when you start out playing ranked, I mean I'm not like amazing, but I'm definitely better than probably like half the people playing the game. I would say I'm probably top 50%, which is not, I don't think that's tooting my own horn too much. So like playing ranked at the beginning, you just like you have no sorry, what am I trying to say? Like you just do really well against your first several opponents, and especially if you're playing 2s or 3s. Like even if you're playing with someone who's ranked highly, I don't know how their elo system works, but as a brand new player, even if they have like a really high elo, you'll play pretty bad teams generally. So like playing 1v1, I've just I have probably like a 90% win rate so far. Because I'm just not like to the skill bracket I should be yet. I haven't played enough games, and in 2s and 3s, like I'm just now getting to the point where I'm playing teams pretty regularly that are probably at the same skill level. But the ranked mode is super fun, and they seem to be working on ways to make it better. Like the one thing I really don't like is that you have to re-queue for ranked after every game, which is like super annoying.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think their ranked queues would probably be way more active if they just made that one change so that people can just sit there and grind ranked. But like the game itself is just incredible. I bought the $4 DLC, which I very rarely ever buy cosmetic DLC, but I enjoy the game that much that like $4 seems fine for me to get like a card that I like and a new boost animation and stuff.
It's a new arena too, right? Or is that
but everyone gets the new arena, and the new arena actually is not like I don't really like it because it's like a Roman Colosseum kind of thing, and the walls, it still has walls, but you can't see them. So like the walls only go up a little bit, and then you sort of have to guess where the ball is going to hit. Yeah, so it's a little bit annoying because the ball, you have to just like. You have to have a much better sense for how big the map is and when it's going to bounce off the wall instead of just being able to see when it's going to bounce off the wall. So that's pretty much it. I've been playing some Hearthstone. The Tavern Brawl this week was all right. The new expansion, I believe, releases tomorrow. So I will be playing a lot of Hearthstone this coming week. I haven't been playing a whole lot recently just because I've been kind of waiting for the expansion to hit. So that's going to hit, and then I'll probably spend a lot of money, and I'll probably play it a bunch. So expect to hear about those adventures next week, or well, week after, I guess. We're not doing one for PAX Prime.
Right.
But that's about it for me, and then just watching stuff, watching CS:GO, watching the League finals today, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. All right, Jenkins.
I have been playing also some Hearthstone, the new Tavern Brawl. The big thing about Tavern Brawl is that it previews cards. It involves mostly cards from the next expansion before it's out, so you're getting a quick preview of them.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is they're introducing 2 new mechanics. There's the jousting mechanic where it's a battle cry effect where both players reveal a random minion from their decks, and then if yours is the higher one, something happens. If you tie or if you lose, then nothing happens. And usually they're pretty, it's like, if you win the joust, this gains charge. Or if you win the joust, this returns to your hand when it dies. Or something like that.
Huh.
So it's an interesting mechanic. But it seems to be way, way, way weaker than the other mechanic, which is what the other class uses. And that mechanic is... what's it called? Inspire, thank you. Which it has an effect every time you use your hero power. And based on these 2 decks going against each other and seeing like how those match up, it just seems like the Inspire deck wins every time. And it might have something to do with the classes they picked. It's Mage versus Hunter.
I think that deck is just straight up better.
Yeah, the Mage deck is much, much better. It has like all this synergy and shit. And like I pulled off the combo earlier where you have Koldara Drake, which lets you use your hero power any number of times in a turn. Maiden of the Lake or whatever it's called, where your hero power costs 1, and then Fallen Hero, I think it's called, which buffs mage hero power from 1 damage to 2. So I was able to deal 20 damage in 1 turn with hero power. Now that shouldn't ever really happen in a real setting. Like that should be so incredibly rare, but just the fact that that's able to happen and the Hunter is literally like, I might have gotten a few charge cards, it's fucking dumb. Like, it's not even close to balance. Also,
But I think that'll be really interesting when the expansion comes out, because both of those mechanics will change the meta a bunch.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. It's like you can't really build a whole deck based on one of those mechanics and expect those, or two decks based on those mechanics and then expect them to be equal.
Yeah, and the setup you were talking about costs 12 mana, but if you can get it, you basically win the game.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
Okay.
I've been playing some Super Nintendo aside from that, some PoE. Not a whole lot else.
Nice.
Path of Exile. It took me a second. I was like, PoE? I don't know.
It's a good game.
No, okay. I know it's a good game, but I will never play it.
Yeah, you won't.
That skill tree or whatever it is.
I totally forgot. I actually played a little bit of. I just got back from playing some of the COD beta.
Oh, how was it?
Oh yeah,
I've heard decent things actually.
Everybody's saying really good things about it, and the game, from what I've watched, I've watched a lot of my friends playing it. It seems to be very good. It seems to be back at where Black Ops 2 was. So, as in, it's actually good. And on top of that, they're apparently going to be dedicated servers. PC beta starts sometime soon. I don't know. I can't fucking play FPSs on controllers.
PC beta starts Wednesday when everybody leaves for PAX.
Yeah.
I got a key and I can't play. I'm upset.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Fenton, what you got?
Take a guess.
Destiny?
Fucking nothing. I ain't doing shit, boy.
Not even Destiny, really?
Didn't it get an update or something?
Yeah.
Last time I've been on the podcast, I logged on, I bought the Gallarhorn, and then I logged off.
Wow.
That's all I did.
And you came in my chat and talked about Destiny a bunch. You did that.
Did you watch the Destiny reveal for the expansion?
One of 3 reveals, I think.
Yes. You watched one of the 3. Okay.
There's 2 more coming.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's a shit game. I don't really pay attention.
All right. I mean,
anyway, it's cute though. It's cute that people are still playing with those thumbsticks, man.
yeah, just a million people.
Yeah, that's true. No, the viewership for that was nuts. At least for the first one, I was like, "What
I've
the
been
hell?"
tempted to get it. I'll
K.
be honest, but I can't play with Nick, so that's half the reason I would play.
Oh yeah, because you're too low. You'd have to grind forever.
No, I'm PS4 and he's Xbox One.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Segregated populations is the best. Anyway.
And I will go real quick. I just CS, and I also started finally to play Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Not super far in it, but
boss fights are great, bud. Yeah, bud.
Yeah, it's
no,
good.
No, they're not. They're shit. But the rest of that game is pretty damn good. Also, it looks amazing.
It does. Yeah, it's holding up pretty. I don't know what year it came out, but it's been a bit since that came out. Looks pretty good. Having fun with that. So yeah, that's it for me. So hit him with that advertisement. Oh, not yet.
Shit. Oh, what? Yeah, right
is
now.
Is it? Okay.
God.
It's time?
All right, yes. We're going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break.
2 minutes.
APL Fisher wants you to watch ads forever.
Yes.
2-minute commercial break. If you don't want to see commercials here anymore, consider it. Subbing.
I'm sorry. Somebody reminded me.
Go ahead.
Chad. I'm old too. We did not see Zombie Army Trilogy. We got through one of the levels. I think we're on the last level, but we did not beat it.
Did they put the Left 4 Dead dudes in that thing or whatever?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's going to be, yes.
Well, they're all in there.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a new set of campaign things, or is it just the
No,
character
it already got released. It's just the
characters.
Okay.
Yeah, just the models.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, 2-minute commercial break, guys. If you don't want to see commercials on this particular channel anymore, consider subscribing. We'll get rid of commercials on this channel, and you get KBMOD A, which is more than worth $4.99 a month.
Can we blanket the chat with that real quick?
It has many utilities. Also, real quick before we get a break, no podcast next week, but Hex and I are planning to bring the equipment with which to do some PAX update streams, because we do have media this year. So we're going to be able to have access to a lot more stuff and have a lot to talk about. So hopefully we get to do that. It all depends on the internet at the place we're staying when it comes down to it. But if it's good enough, we'll try to get something up for you. But no official podcast next week. All right, 2 minutes, guys, and then we'll be right back with the news. The news!
A lot of news this week.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Well, I mean, not necessarily a lot, but
much.
good, like substantial things.
Big stuff to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, which is nice.
Big talk about things, action. talk. Man, I'm still so upset that I didn't get a drop. You'd think when like 40,000 drops happen.
Yeah.
Of course, there are 900K in game or something. Waiting.
I forget what the actual
drop.
percent. What is the? Did they give an actual percentage of?
I don't know, but it's every round. It's every round.
No, I know, but I'm saying what actually out of, so it's 40,000. There's 900,000 watching. Yeah.
Well, it would top 1 million in games at time.
Yeah.
At times, but yes, that is a low percentage, obviously.
It's low percentage, yeah.
But
it's not 40,000 every round, is it?
No. It's like by the end of a game, it's
about what is it, like 1,000 a round? About?
Yeah, it's like
seemingly.
It'll be like and 16,000 others like at the end of a round. It was a 2% chance per game if you watch the whole game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
So it was okay. All right, so that's how it. Yeah, you should be upset about not getting a drop. So it's like a 2 or 4% chance of what I'm seeing in chat, something like that. So 2 to 4%. So yeah, there you go. Not the greatest odds. I really just wanted.
Not bad for just sitting there and watching a tournament, though.
Oh yeah, watching some really, really damn good CS, which we'll talk about once we're back from break. But
just getting, I don't know what people were saying. It was like $18 or something at one point, maybe higher.
It's $40 for Cobble.
For Cobble, yeah, $40 for Cobble.
Because there's possibility of a Dragon Lore in it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dragon Lore is like what, 400 or something?
Like 800, depending on the condition.
800. Jesus Christ.
I think so.
$800 for the ugliest AWP skin.
I agree. I don't think the Dragon
on the goddamn planet. Oh. Yeah. I don't understand you, Dragon Lore people.
Rarity, man. Rarity. That's all.
Cobbles are 30 now. They were 40 when the pre-show was on. God damn. Oh. But yeah, I normally get multiple. I've gotten multiple drops at a bunch of these.
I think you just got spoiled. I think you had just some serious luck and you got spoiled.
There you go. So yeah, see our communities in chat got 3, 2 from the same match. No Cobble, and opening them got nothing. Well, yeah, you would just sell a Cobble if you were smart.
Yeah.
But the others you would just open. But anyway, we are back, and it is time for the news. Let me timestamp this. There we go. That is a terrible timestamp.
I was going to say, that's a new...
What am I doing? That's a new symbol for time. Our build guides did come out this past week, so if you missed them, you can go check them out on the website. Not much change despite some new hardware. You can check out the full discussion of it on there. We have about a 45-minute show we did, Nikon, Bob, and I, for the build guides. So you can check it out on YouTube and on KBMOD.com. So if you are interested in building a new PC, it gives a pretty good idea of what you should be going after at this point in time. Basic gist, though, is it's not a great time to buy right now. So, but yeah, you can go check those out on the website and get some tips on hardware there. But first thing we're going to discuss, ESL One Cologne, or Cologne, if you're on the internet. ESL One Cologne.
I think it's pronounced Cologne.
Yeah, Cologne happened this weekend in Cologne, Germany.
At
the beautiful and fantastic Lanxess Arena. Which is the phrase that I heard, I don't know, 90,000 times during these past 4 days. Which team will go on to participate in the beautiful Lanxess Arena in Cologne, Germany? I'm just going to call it Cologne for the rest of this time. I can't wait. I hope somebody leaves a comment on YouTube or somewhere of this podcast. You know it's pronounced Cologne, right?
Yeah, somebody will.
Typical
Americans.
CS was it was pretty well put together, especially downtime was almost non-existent. There were a few, except for like necessary downtime, like, switching.
Yeah, a bit here and there, but no, nothing.
There were a couple tech issues, including one very large one where for one game they were not sure if the players could hear the casters.
Yeah, that one game
they
were casting, they were like...
It was only for a half, I think, that it ended up happening.
Yeah.
But basically, Machine, Pansy, and Henry G had to, talk. It was It was.
They were
rough.
like, we can't be super descriptive right now because we don't know if the players.
We can't talk about the money or the buys or the positions or anyone's name or
Yeah, it was really
how much health someone has been dinked down to. We can't say any of that.
Yeah.
But viewership, you have this in the doc, APL.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
1.26, I think, was
Yeah, it was like the
was
cap
the
out.
final. Was the highest, but yeah,
that was
man.
Twitch
over
plus
a million.
in-game, I believe.
They had a Twitch embed on the main screen of
Yeah.
the CS:GO client, so it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty insane to see. At one point during the LG Fnatic match, which like LG, well-known team, but not necessarily a marquee team that like tons of people who are maybe casually interested are going to tune into, that hit like near 1 million. So like
Yeah.
that quarterfinal hit like near 1 million viewers. So it was pretty insane. And despite me making fun of them pimping the arena every 5 minutes, that arena was
It was a nice setup. It was a really nice
amazing.
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, production at ESL. I mean, especially this event. I feel like ESL in general, though, that seems to be run pretty. They run a pretty tight ship. Honestly, camera work not great. The whole event pretty rough. A lot of. I mean, the most notable one was Pasha actually had an ace on the Inferno.
Oh, did he?
Against Fnatic, he got that 4-man spray down, and he got a 4-man spray down, and then the cameraman. Then they cut, not necessarily the cameraman, but the production team, whoever's directing, cut to the audience instead of watching Pasha finish the ace out.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of kind of that was not necessarily just the cameraman, but even the guy, the guys running the spec stuff for CS didn't seem to be the most talented. There was a lot of kind of missed stuff, but overall, I mean, not that it really took too much away from the actual games. Like it was overall pretty solid. And if you're going to complain about that too, you can just go in and watch on Go TV. You know what I mean? And
Well,
just
it's still
watch.
a big mistake. I mean,
But it's still
at a big moment, dude gets an ace after one of the craziest spray downs you've ever seen.
Exactly,
And then
exactly. Yeah, just
he
a lot
cut
of
away
just
from
some
it.
swapping.
There was
some
more than a few of
questionable
those. There were actually some times when the commentators were like, "Why are we not like?" There was specifically there was a flank, like a pretty insane flank happening, where there's going to be an insane backstab, and they were like, "Why are we not watching this?"
Yeah.
Like, as he's
You know, it's bad when the casters are like,
like
please,
trying to be like observer, please switch.
Yeah, please switch over. But yeah, games. I mean, some
The
absolutely
games.
like fantastic games.
Yeah, were pretty incredible.
Level of competition at this event, obviously at major. So just like the best of the best, but maybe a little depressed. I mean, our NA boys not doing all that hot. Cloud9 having a real poor showing.
Well,
I mean,
you say that. Like,
yeah.
Navi,
Well, I guess
Navi, who has won a lot recently, also got knocked out in groups. So,
True.
I mean,
Also, I'm
know.
comparing it to Cloud9's recent success, which is not necessarily fair because they've been on a hot streak, being in a bunch of finals. But yeah, and then CLG seemingly, they're kind of the team that's constantly, I feel like 16-13, 16-14 in on the loss column, like just not quite being able to get it done. But I don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, the games were great. I mean, I picked Fnatic to win the whole thing, but in the finals versus
Really going
Envious,
for the underdog there.
I was
really
I know,
going out on a
crazy.
limb with Fnatic.
Crazy. But that Dust 2 game when Envious was just absolutely dominating Fnatic, and then Fnatic made that incredible comeback. It was
Heartbreaking
just like,
final,
God.
really.
Yeah, I mean, I'd called 2-1 for Fnatic, and then after that loss by Envious with that huge comeback from Fnatic, I was like, yeah, this would probably be 2-0, and they kind of Cobblestone was pretty weak showing, and poor Kenny S, man, finished I think like 4-17, had like one of the worst games of his career. There's some heartbreaking footage if you actually, I mean, obviously if you go on the CS:GO subreddit, it's all the major stuff right now, but there's shots of him kind of trying not to kind of like almost tearing up with how poor his performance was, which is rough. I mean, it's a huge stage and he like apologized on Twitter, but he also played.
Yeah,
he just had a terrible game. But
say,
he also played really well in a lot of other instances. So it's like
as the analyst desk pointed out at the end, like they wouldn't have even made it to finals without Kenny.
Oh,
in a lot of
absolutely.
games,
He's a huge impact player. So it sucks to see. You'd like to see him do a little bit better, even going out like that. But and then we also have to talk about Dan. I said we would discuss this, but we have to discuss. We got to discuss the booing because. What is your take? I'll take your take first, and then.
So here's my whole thing. As a sports ball aficionado, myself, booing to me isn't.
Hold on. Lay the context out for people that weren't
so
watching.
What happened was they would do these pretty cool entrances for I think was it quarterfinals? Yeah, I think it was because it was LG and Fnatic and VP and NIP. So it was for quarterfinals, and they had all 4 teams announced. Sort of like a sports team would be brought out. Like they had them come out of a tunnel and introduce the team, and it was very, very cool. So all the teams go, and there's even if some teams weren't like NIP, obviously one of the biggest organizations in the world, arguably the most popular, regardless of success or not, team out there. They got a huge amount of cheers. But every team, pretty much got, a moderate amount of clapping, even if there weren't that many individual fans there. Fnatic comes out, and it's just boo birds everywhere.
Yep. Yeah.
And...
okay, and this is the other thing. The other context is ESL is constantly reminding... So every time there was any kind of booing, the casters, whoever was on the mic, would constantly go, hey, no, you got to respect them. They're in the finals. They're a great team. They're very talented. No booing. So for me, there was a constant pressure. There was ESL was constantly telling the fans not to boo. And I understand they wanted
Therefore, you're going to boo more, obviously.
Right, well, that's true, too. But also, like, their whole joke, this is a family show, blah, blah, blah. Well, but it was weird to me that they were constantly saying that. And then the other context is, so Fnatic ends up beating VP. VP is the crowd favorite. Was it Olaf or Krims who was out on? Maybe it was Krims? I'm not sure who was being interviewed at the time. I forget.
Probably Krims.
I think it was Krims. And so as they're doing the interview, there were people booing, like, over basically the interview, which is, again, we can... No, that's pretty. I mean, again, people were like, "Oh, that's classless," all that kind of stuff, and I could tell he was a little upset about it. And then Taz came out from VP and basically silenced the crowd and was like, be respectful. And then so that was a cool moment. I thought that was cool that Taz did that. That's good sportsmanship.
It was Olaf? Okay.
Yeah, it was, especially after like losing something like that and then doing that. That's a cool moment. But however, booing, like, of all the things, like. I mean, having been in the CS community for a long time, I tweeted this, but I was like, it's funny that we draw the line on, like, booing. Like, how toxic the CS community can be in general. And it's just like, oh, man, no booing, guys. Like, it's just like, these guys are professionals. These are just like in any, and it doesn't have to be, like, exactly like real sports, but there is definitely a parallel there. There's villains and there's heroes.
Look,
well, if you want it to emulate real sports, that happens in real sports all the time.
It's going to happen.
Here's the thing, Scott, you are from the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, absolutely.
The city of Philadelphia booed Santa.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started
on the story. Game, okay?
That's a trigger, too. But yes. We booed Santa because it was a fraud, terrible Santa. And we
I know, but, like, Santa. No, my point is...
And we killed Hitchbot.
You did kill Hitchbot as well.
That story, yeah, that's true, we did.
So here's the thing. Booing happens, as Brandon said, as someone who has been going to sporting events for 20-plus years, you boo the other team. If you're the home team, or if the team that, if you don't like the other team, you don't even have to not like them. Like, the Penguins could be playing, like, the Florida Panthers, who I could give a shit less about the Florida Panthers, but I will definitely boo the Florida Panthers if they're playing against the Penguins. Like, it's just what you do in sports. There isn't even a disrespect, like, factor. It's just, like, sort of a, letting them know they're not, in friendly territory.
It's just the opposite of clapping. I mean,
it's not a. I don't
see it as being, like, toxic. It's it's one of those things that's going to happen, right? When you have a group of 10,000 plus people in a stadium, and you're like, guys, let's please not boo. It's like, okay, what do you think's going to happen? Like, you're not. No one cares.
Mm-hmm. That's what kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was just like the constant, like literally, it was like everyone in the ESL production team had told all of the casters and everyone else, like, let's really keep, like, no booing. It's just like, it's not realistic.
I mean, like, in a sports game, like, the commentators might mention it. Like, if you can hear the booing over the broadcast or something, they'll talk about it. They'll be like, oh, the crowd really doesn't like that. But instead of saying don't do it, just, like, give the audience context for why they're booing.
Yeah.
And explain, that
and they kind of did that a little bit. They were like, went into it. But what was funny is they were, like, dancing around the whole, like, which I don't even care about, really. I just don't like Fnatic for the same reason I don't like the Yankees.
I was just going to say, they are the Yankees.
They win so damn much that I'm just like, fucking stop it at this point. Like, it's not that the Yankees are that good anymore, but in context, the Yankees were good for a very long time if you don't follow sports. And they essentially bought teams and won championships that way. So yeah, I hated on them. But, like, Fnatic's really good. So, you know, I would rather see someone else win. Yeah.
Fnatic. The other thing, though,
honestly, like that's why people buy tickets to go watch this in person, so that you have that kind of experience. Like you can boo the team you don't like, you can clap and cheer for the teams that you do like. I mean, that's why people are buying tickets.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the other thing was like a lot of the other thing was like, well, people are booing Fnatic because of the witch hunt with the VAC ban, with the VAC stuff. It's like it doesn't really. I mean, honestly, okay, sure, people, whatever you think about Flusher and all that kind of stuff, like it doesn't take people's right away. Like if you go into a venue, if you pay at a sporting event, dude, don't tell me that I can't. I was like, it's your right. You can do what you want. Like I just found it, unless it's
it's just like that people are going to boo Tom Brady for the whole deflate thing, even if it turns out that he's exonerated from that. Like people don't care.
If Tom Brady comes to Pittsburgh, his ass is getting booed. All right,
that's what I mean. It's just gonna happen.
If the Flyers come into town, I will scream obscenities at them. That's just how it works. Yeah. Like it's not. Yeah. And you will hear, if you watch like a Penguins Flyers game, which is a huge rivalry game, you will hear the announcers even be like, Flyers getting a traditional welcome right now, like as they get booed during warm-ups, like by little children. Like that's, it's not, it's just how
it is. If anything, we should be glad that we are getting to a point where people have such strong feelings towards teams that they want to boo the team they don't like. Because that's why it happens in real sports, because people live and breathe this stuff, and we're now getting to that point with esports, which is like in a weird way, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
People need enemies if they're going to give a shit about something. Yeah, they need an adversary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fnatic is definitely that team for people.
Yep. You need that bad guy, and they're a damn good bad guy. And I think regardless of whether Olaf was uncomfortable when he was getting booed during an interview, they relish. They relish playing that role. I think it was maybe it was Pronax or they were interviewing who basically said that in like one of the pre-recorded interview segments. He's basically like, we enjoy it. They hate us because we're good. Like he actually said that. I was like, here you go. That's fine. It's exactly why I don't like you. Like, I wish they were cockier. This is like the thing with me and
well, that was what Shem was basically going back and forth with me. Shem was saying that they should just embrace it really at that point. You know what I mean? Like there's also anyway. I hope teams have more fun with it in the future. Like be the bad guys.
Yeah,
that's great.
Like it's the whole thing with like pro sports players are so generic these days because nobody wants them to upset anybody. And like I remember we used to test Eric Brunner in IRC. We'd ask him like the most controversial questions possible to try to get him to PR speak anything, and he could do it. It was amazing.
Dan, you know what we need? We need a Brian Bosworth. We need the Boz.
Yeah, we need a Boz
for CS:GO. You know what I mean? We need like one of the
Freakazoid to just stop being so positive and just turn into a total asshole.
Exactly. Just embrace it, dude. Yeah, like I'm the best.
Giant tan American dude. Just like
that would be awesome. All right, but overall, a great event. Obviously, record viewership numbers, which is great. I didn't. There were some pretty high predictions before ESL started. I think people thought it was going to be a big event. I don't know if people thought it was going to be quite this big. So it's exciting to see CS still.
I also would like to put out there that as great as the international is with production and stuff like that, and how they build it up so well, I am glad that they are switching to a 4-major system, and I think that like a 4-major system is way better than having one blowout event. Like, having 4 of these type of events every year is way, way better. Yeah. Like, it may not be as insane as the international, but it's 4 of them getting near to that level is certainly better than just 1. So, I hope they continue this system. I just hope a little more money gets pumped into it for prizes. Not that 250K is shabby, but when 18 million...
I think the majors system also allows for a better storyline to develop. Yes. Like people 100%. Watching the international, it's a great spectacle, but if you don't keep up with Dota, you don't really have a whole lot of reason to watch until the international. And I think the majors, people want to watch, and then at the next major they'll be able to talk about what happened at this one and use clips from this one, and it's all about creating that storyline, and that's why the game will get bigger, because people will lean into the Fnatic is the bad guy, and like whatever, like all these different storylines that develop.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, all right, moving on. PAX Prime is indeed this week upcoming. And we, a couple of us have media access, and a bunch of the guys will be there. Scott will be there. Nick Fenton will be in town. Not going to the show, but he will be in town. Brandon, of course, will be there with Twitch. Blot is not going, unfortunately. I'll miss you, BB.
Yeah, it's gonna suck, but
we'll miss you. We'll think
But just no one talk for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, just
no one
don't.
talk.
see you next week, guys.
Guys,
Oh wait,
see you
no, I
guys.
won't.
Good podcast
Let that
this week.
soak. Let that sit.
Sorry,
So-
did I just totally kill the mood
No,
there?
it's fine.
No, it's alright. It's alright.
So
I'll be fine.
there's going to be tons and tons and tons of games there, obviously, as there always are. I have never received so much email in my entire life than after getting media for this thing. And it's been hard to, like, pick which... Because what they do is they schedule times with you to come see games and do, like, demos and things like that. And it's been hard to be, like, trying to commit to times to see video games. It sounds like it's the worst first world problem to have ever. But there's going to be tons of games there. Just Cause 3, Dark Souls 3, Fallout 4, the new Homefront, Revolution, the new Need for Speed will be there. We're having a meetup on Saturday. We've publicized it a few times on this podcast and on various streams and on the website. You can go to the meetup. It's by the park right next to the convention center at about 2 p.m. on Saturday. But there are no... I have announcements we're hoping for on this thing here. But there's no Blizzard or Valve presence at the event. Valve, though, that's not really a surprise. They hardly ever have a presence anywhere. But no Blizzard, so we won't get any Overwatch or anything like that there. But is there anything you guys are excited to see at the show? Any panels you've seen or games that you're looking forward to seeing?
I think Overwatch is going to be there, right?
Really? I heard Blizzard wasn't going to have any presence there. But
I don't know.
I hope they do. If they do, I definitely want to play some Overwatch.
I want to try it because everyone who's played it says it's great. So
I mean, it's an FPS, Scott.
Yeah, I know.
You'll enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I already know that I'm going to be getting hands-on with the new Homefront game, which I'm actually pretty excited for. I hope it's good. I'm hoping it's on PC, but I'm guessing the demo will be on Xbox One or PS4, which will be a frustrating experience. I remember Brandon being like, yeah, I got hands-on with Wolfenstein, and it was on a 360. It's like, oh.
It's a good way to dampen your excitement.
Yeah. Just Cause 3, though, for sure. Excited to see that. I know we're seeing a game called Enter the Gungeon. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. It looks
I've heard of it.
fucking amazing. It looks like a sort of Isaac crossed with a Contra and a nuclear throne kind of thing. But yeah, it looks really cool. So we're going to be having footage of that to bring. I'm hoping Fallout 4 is playable. The thing about big shows like this and coverage you see is that often the biggest games are just gameplay demos.
Yeah.
Or like videos. I remember John being like, yeah, we waited in line for Watch Dogs before it came out, and then he went in, it was the same demo they had shown.
Yeah,
like
I did that. I was
E3
in
or
that
something.
line.
Yeah.
That was terrible, terrible. Yes, mistake to wait for that.
But the main one, I got to play Bloodborne last year, mainly thanks to Nick, but Dark Souls 3, I'm really hoping there's something playable. They did a demo at Gamescom once again, it wasn't playable. But that is the one for me. That and Fallout 4. Really hoping. I also would like to play the new Need for Speed, if it's on the floor. That game, if you haven't seen the footage of the new Need for Speed, just graphically, it looks unbelievable. It looks unbelievable.
What's the latest Need? What is it titled now?
It's just Need for Speed.
Oh, it's
They're
just Need for Speed
rebooting
now?
the whole series this year.
God.
But it looks, I think it looks really good. Hopefully it's just back to good racing, like instead of like Most Wanted and things like that. Shadow Warrior 2 That's another one that I hope. We are seeing a bunch of Devolver stuff, including 2 unannounced things. So, I mean, that is announced, but I don't know if Shadow Warrior 2 is going to be on there. But that would be great, because that looks good. What about Tony Hawk? Question from the chat.
Looks like shit.
Looks like shit.
Looks like
A.
actual garbage.
A, it does look terrible. And B, it's not coming to PC anyway. So I'm kind of not that interested for coverage for the site.
It looks like fucking Tony Hawk 2. Like,
but it's got
that's what it
Borderlands
looks
graphics now, dude.
oh, sick. That's
It's
what
got
the
like
kids
the
love. They
cell
love
shading.
fucking cell shaded. Looks like
God.
a comic book, dude. Whoa.
I think the main thing I'm looking for is probably Just Cause 3 because I'm hoping it's playable.
I think it will be.
It releases in December.
December 1st.
And so this is like the last show. It would be like this is the last show where you could have people play it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
think.
DreamHack's not really a show, which is like the only
yeah,
thing the rest of the year.
DreamHack is also like a couple days before December
true.
1st.
Yeah,
so that doesn't like that wouldn't be a thing
you're
you
right.
do for PR. So like it wasn't playable at Gamescom. They just had a trailer thing. It was like an interactive trailer, which was cool. It was very neat because I think it was in-game footage, but it was sort of like an adventure novel, like choose your own adventure kind of thing.
I know what you're saying.
And that was fine. Like it was interesting, but it's definitely not the same as playing it. So I'm hoping it'll be playable because if so, like that's the one thing I really want to play, even more than Overwatch because I've played Overwatch and it's amazing, but I haven't seen. All I've seen is like footage of Just Cause. No one has actually had their hands on it.
I also want to see Paladins, which I'm sure I'll get to try if they're there. I know they've skipped Prime before, but I would assume with a new title coming out and Smite debuting on Xbox One that they would.
I can't remember if they said they were going to be there or not, but if it is playable, yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Is it? I don't know why I'm blanking on this. Is it an FPS or is it third person?
Yes.
It's first person.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I would like to see that as well. And of course, there's a million little indie games that always catch my eye. I'm hoping Salt and Sanctuary is back at it, and maybe they have a. This is going back for people who've listened to this cast for a long time. But Salt and Sanctuary it's like a 2D Dark Souls game. And it looks really incredible, and they haven't updated their news on it on the developer page since last Prime. So, other than they're working on it, but there's been no update. So I'm hoping that No Man's Sky would be cool. It's there. I mean, Sony will obviously have a big presence. That would be where it would be. I don't know how PAX does their media mailings, but we didn't get anything, and I'm guessing, I don't know if they do it by size of outlet, but we didn't get anything for most AAA stuff, which I'm guessing have their own sort of thing, or look at the size of the reach that you have more. But yeah, so PAX Prime, if you're going, once again, come say hi if you see us. Brandon,
Don't fucking say hi to me.
don't say hi to Nick Fenton though. He won't be at the show
fuck
anyway.
alone.
I'll be at the Twitch booth a bunch, so if you're there, come stop by.
All right.
I
Moving
might
on.
be at PAX if I can get a pass. I might go for like a day.
We might have something. For you. All right. Next. Windows. So if you pirate games, this is bad news for you coming up here.
All you pirates are fucked now.
I still don't know how I feel about it though. Windows 10 can disable pirated games. How it detects that, I don't know, but it can do it.
Games for Windows Live.
Yeah, yeah. May it rest in peace forever.
Coming back, bringing it back from the dead.
It will also. This is also more bad news, but only if you have some very old titles, and mostly not great titles that use this technology. A lot of Ubisoft titles used it. Secure ROM and Safe Disk, which was a fucking security nightmare anyway, those will not be playable on Windows 10. So if you have some old disks for games that you use, you may want to install them if you're still on 7, and then somehow try to keep that or rebuy it. I'm sure a lot of those are cheap because that's pretty old tech. So if you have some pirated games, you may want to watch out for that on Windows 10. And also, if you don't know, there are a few privacy issues out there with Windows 10. Most of those can be disabled right when you install it. It asks you if you want those features on. Most of them are trying to help, saying they're trying to help with search and Cortana and things like that. But you can turn off all the voice recognition stuff, all the search suggestion stuff. The main one is if you put Windows 10 on a laptop, make sure you turn Wi-Fi Sense off.
Yeah.
Turn that off. Go into your settings, turn it off. What it does is it shares passwords to Wi-Fi networks with friendly computers. And, like, that just doesn't sound secure at all. So you're going to want to... We went over this on the Build Guide a little bit.
Microsoft's just trying to make people, make things more friendly. Why you guys gotta hate on it, man? Hey, you get a password, you get a password,
Windows
you look
10,
friendly.
so-
It'll be great.
I like Windows 10 a lot.
I like when you
so
upgrade
I hate
to
it.
Windows 10 and like at that first screen and with all of the features that you're talking about turning off. It's basically like everything you fucking do, we want to be able to like look at, which I mean I get as a company perspective.
So
but-
here's the thing: is
You're crowding me, Microsoft.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Well, here's the thing: you let apps do this on your phone every day.
That's a good
every
point.
time you install them.
No, that's a good
You just
point.
hit it. You hit OK.
You're right.
So, like,
You're right. You're right.
but the good thing is that up front it just lets you.
Yeah,
turn
no,
it off.
but it is pretty. Yeah, when you first do it, you're like, holy shit.
But a lot
We
of
should
it is
mention. We should mention
kinda-
that I think this checking for pirated games is only for
Oh, it's only for
Microsoft,
Microsoft titles.
or Xbox games.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Xbox and Windows games published by Microsoft.
Okay.
So I think
Oh.
they're basically only covering like stuff that they make.
All right. Well, I wouldn't say it's better, as we don't. There was a time when I pirated games, but once you start, for me, it was like once I started meeting devs and things like that, and talking to people who make games, I was like, I'm kind of done doing
Fucking
this.
piece of shit.
But it's been a long, long time. Also, they're just such a hassle half the time. Like, to crack and things these days. So just don't do it. Just
Yeah.
don't do it. There you go, Windows 10. Some quick things. The Grand Theft Auto series has sold a few copies. Just a small amount. 220 million copies
Good God.
That's it?
over its lifetime. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
This is where I go to my calculator. 220 times 60.
Well, you can't really.
Well, they
yeah,
weren't
it's
all
not
60.
that's a good
yeah.
point. That's a good point. Yeah, probably. Not that
GTA 5 itself, this was at the end of March, previous to the PC version, had sold 52 million copies. So it was a slight 2K just slash Rockstar just
Good Lord.
covered in beds of money, and I mean it's pretty insane.
Even
So-
if they all sold at $30 each, that's $6.6 billion.
6.6 billion.
Yeah. So that is the whole series. That is not just one game, to clarify again.
Well, that should give you a good idea of like how those games can take so long.
Yeah.
Because they when they put them out, they make so much money on it that it can fund the crazy long development cycle of the next one.
Like
Yeah.
what even sells? Like what even sells 220 million
What
copies
sells
of anything?
What game?
Anything.
What game? What one game these days
Yeah.
sells 52 million copies? Besides
Yeah, no, that's a
GTA
good point, too.
5. Besides GTA 5,
Nothing.
you just don't see it, man.
What
There's
does Call of Duty do? What did it do last year? That would be the
think
Call of Duty.
I feel like between
40 billion.
Well, like in
40
this
billion.
Eurogamer article, it's the Borderlands series has sold 26 million copies.
Wow,
And that
and that's like a
game
huge
has-
success.
Yeah, Borderlands is like a runaway success, and it's had 3 games now, with like maybe some I don't know, like game of the year editions or something.
It's 3 games and then DLCs, pretty much.
And they have some other numbers in here, like NBA 2K15, which sports games I would assume are pretty consistent over the years.
All right, here's a stat for you. You want to get your shit blown out of your asshole? Listen to this. Call of Duty collectively
Yes, I do.
across all of the games, all of the games of Call of Duty has sold collectively 175 million copies across all titles.
Wow, this shit is blowing out of my ass.
I mean, and this game has sold 220 million.
Yeah, well, the fact that's kind of crazy to me that the GTA series has outsold the Call of Duty.
It just that is crazy.
Hold on. Also, this is from 2012.
All right,
this article that was linked here.
They definitely could have. They definitely could have sold the remaining.
Well, I'm looking at the Call of Duty wiki that is apparently updated as of right now.
I'm looking at the Call of Duty wiki.
Someone named Chuck Reimer just updated this. So.
Sick. Sounds fucking reputable. He sounds like a reasonable pizza.
Like, to put all this in another way of perspective, though, the Tomb Raider reboot, which was incredible, sold 8 million, and Square Enix called it a failure. So
it's a great reboot.
I mean, I guess companies measure success in different ways. Square Enix never satisfied, apparently. 8 million failure. So
it's kind of amazing, though, if you look at Call of Duty by game. None of them have come even remotely close to 54 million copies.
That's a good breakdown,
GTA 5. Yeah.
They haven't even broken half of that. The highest one was Modern Warfare 3.
That was really the highest? Really? Wow, I wouldn't say
I
that.
think
That's what it says.
No, you know why? That makes total sense. It makes total sense, because Modern Warfare 2 was the biggest one, I believe. If not,
well, it was on the back of Modern Warfare 2, and then that was on the back of Black Ops, which was received really well.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. That was like Call of Duty's all-time high in terms of hype, I think.
Yeah, like Modern Warfare 2, that was the YouTube blow-up. So it doesn't surprise me that then the sequel to that just exploded, as the Modern Warfare series at that point was not yet fully tainted by Modern Warfare 3. So
and then of course Ghosts goes way down.
Yeah. To put this in perspective, Tetris has sold 100 million copies. Lifetime. Oh no, wait. It calls this what? That's weird. That makes no sense. Anyway, this Wikipedia thing is very confusing, actually, as to how much. Basically,
this is like easily one of the most successful ventures of all time.
Yeah,
in terms of like video games or art
what a
or
humble,
movies.
a humble top-down start to Grand Theft Auto.
I know, to this
turned into, yeah.
That's insane.
So some other quick hits. That one wasn't actually a quick, but let's talk about there. Rainbow Six Siege delayed to December to tune in the multiplayer more. They don't like where it is right now.
Who cares over Rainbow
I think
Six?
the game
All right.
looks good. So,
Okay.
fuck you.
I mean, I saw it. I saw what they were doing with it. I just no.
So
Not enough events for you, huh?
Nope.
For this
need
though,
more quick
every
times.
game gets delayed now. All of them,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And they all come out in the early access anyway.
Yeah. Also, Just Cause 3 has added challenge modes, which looks super fun. You can like try to do stuff in the wingsuits or try to grapple through various explodable items for challenges. So, as if you needed to do anything else in Just Cause other than just blow everything up. There's going to be these challenge modes added to the game. And this last one I threw in here because I found this very interesting. Everquest 2, which is a game that's been out for quite a while, is going to experiment with a prison server for people who are troublemakers in the game. And you will be put on the prison server, and it's one way only, so you can never leave after that. It's kind of like some multiplayer games have put cheaters in so that they only can matchmake with other cheaters. I was just like, that's a pretty interesting way to handle that there.
It seems like the threshold for getting to that server will probably be really high.
Yeah.
If it's a permanent
You'll
move.
have to be a total dick, basically.
Yeah. Because like especially the players that get banned by the League of Legends Tribunal and stuff, like the stuff that they do is just beyond the pale. It's like just disgustingly bad. So this will probably be the same thing.
Yeah, because a lot of it says is like people who are frequently reported in game for abuse and things like that will be put on the server. So
That's a really cool idea, though. I like that.
yeah,
That's
dude,
neat.
can you imagine the chat on the prison server?
Oh my god, yeah.
For
I like that
research,
you can
it's
just
like
join
file
it
a
as
ticket-
well, but
file
you
a
can never
ticket
leave.
to ask if you can have an account on the prison server
Yeah,
just to
be
see
like,
what it's
I
like.
would just want to capture chat for like 30 minutes. That's all I want to do. Just the
Oh, it looks
worst.
like, you will be able to join. It says you'll be able to join it by choice.
Yeah, you can,
if
but
you
you
want
can
to
never
go to
back.
a place where there are no consequences for your actions.
Along with a bunch of other people who want no consequences for their actions.
That's actually pretty amazing. Like you're there with the people that cause trouble and the people that want to cause trouble because they know that's where you're able to cause trouble.
Mark, it would probably be a bit like Scott's chat.
Well played. Probably.
Also, a one-way
No, I don't know
trip.
if it would attain those levels.
Also a one-way trip, yeah.
That is
Chaos theory.
never leave.
All right, new releases. This is for the next couple weeks because we will not have a podcast next week. Hearthstone, of course. The Grand Tournament expansion comes out tonight at midnight, I believe, or tomorrow if you're going to go to bed.
I hope it comes out at midnight, but I think they've come out like 11 a.m. or something.
But so that will take up a lot of people's time, I'm sure, tomorrow. Tuesday, the Mega Man Legacy Collection comes to Steam, which is actually pretty cool. The people who did this, we talked about this on a podcast, might have been last year. There's a company who has become sort of renowned with remaking these, not remaking, but sort of remastering games and putting them on PC like older games. And they did this since the first 6 Mega Man games. In one package on Steam. So if you've never played those games, you should check it out. They are all pretty darn good. There's no price on it yet, but yeah, it's Mega Man, first 6 Mega Man games. Sort of.
I hope that more games come out like this, where they're like in a pack, or they get repurposed to play on an x86 machine.
Yeah.
Because it sucks that there's so many games out there that you just can't play. Like unless you find an emulator for it or whatever. Like there's a lot of times where I just want to pay like $5 to play Echo the Dolphin or something, like something I enjoyed from my childhood. So it's cool that this Mega Man collection will be out there.
Yeah, and like I said, the company that does this, they did another game which I'm completely blanking on. Like I said, we talked about this like a year ago, and they do a really like loving job on these because they really take care of the source material. So there's not going to be any janky stuff with it or anything like that. So if you're into Mega Man, you should probably check that out. I'm guessing it's not going to be too expensive, like $15 or something for 6 games. So it's not bad. Evo Land 2 also comes out that day, sequel to the original Evo Land, which is just a game made up of RPG cliches. Like, literally, that is what Evo Land is. And it also goes through, like, several, like, 32-bit environments and 16-bit environments. And so you may want to check that out. And then next week is a slightly large week for video game releases. Just a little. Most of you already know about one of these. But August 31st, Mad Max, the Mad Max game, which is made by the Just Cause dudes over at Avalanche Studios, comes to PC on August 31st. The initial previews of that game, they weren't like, this is a bad game. It was more just like, this game has no idea what it wants to be. It was kind of the thing. Like, does it want to be a driving combat game? Does it want to be a shooter?
Like a Mad Max game would be hard to do.
Yeah.
Hard to like. There's so many things. You could be spread thin easily.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've done a really good job with the Just Cause games, but this is not an open world. I'm sure there's lots of explosions, but this
is not what I want from a Mad Max game either.
So, I mean, we'll have to see. I would wait on reviews for that one, but it is a $60 title as well. And then September 1st, as I said, most of you who have been keeping an eye on this game already know, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, September 1st. So, yeah. It's looking real good. Looking real good. As we said before the cast started, this will be the review week where nobody reads any reviews for Metal Gear Solid 5, or they just scroll to the bottom for the score, because nobody wants any spoilers for that thing. Like, more than most games. Nobody wants any spoilers. So there you go. That is it for the news this week. We are going to head right on in to the viewer questions. First question from Mr. Wicked Rhyme. Which member of the podcast looks best in a dress?
I mean, the only one I have evidence for is John. He looked all right.
He looked all right. Yeah, I think Blah is raising his hand.
I think I look good in a dress.
I think you would look good in a dress as well.
Yeah. I have to ask some of my lady friends if anybody's got a dress. I'll figure a picture out.
All right.
Give it a try.
I'll
think you
work
probably.
on it.
I think you have a really nice ass too, Blah. I'd have to.
You know
you're
what?
not gonna be at PAX, but I think you do.
I'm flattered to hear that, and I actually agree with you.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I have a great ass.
I think you. Yeah. So something that would like a tighter, maybe a little tight black dress.
Yeah,
would look good on you.
form-fitting.
Form-fitting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, form-fitting like black dress, or maybe like something. Well, because I'm already dark. I got black, brown, dark brown.
Did
hair.
you just say you're dark?
Yeah.
Because you're not dark.
No, my skin is not dark.
No,
My
yeah.
hair is dark.
Your overall thing, not very dark. Whatever your thing is.
My hair is dark. My eyes are dark. So actually, brighter colors complement me better. So I think like a
Maybe a floral.
Tight-fitting, no, not even floral. I don't like floral personally. I'm thinking like a sky blue kind of dress, or maybe like a turquoise. You know.
I feel like APL in a dress is just a nightmare.
It wouldn't be good. See, the thing is, I can pull off the cleavage, but the curves are a little
The cleavage.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be the curves in all the right places. I have some in the right places, but
Those are some dangerous curves.
yeah, it wouldn't be as. I feel like I don't know. We could see. It depends on the dress too. I would have to go dress shopping. I don't know. I'm sure I could find something that would look good.
Enfen in a corset
Dress shopping.
from chat. Things
Yes,
I
please.
never want to see.
Of course.
Or maybe
some
I
pics.
do.
This is just kind of going back to the KBMOD Western.
Oh yeah.
That's
I think Scott would look fine
Yeah.
in like a nice formal sundress, not something revealing,
Okay.
but like,
I
agree,
maybe
I
something
agree.
something patterned, something you'd wear
With a
on
big
like
hat.
a breezy summer
I
day.
can see myself wearing a nice hat with it too.
A
I can
big
see
hat.
A big ass hat. Like a Kentucky
Huge,
Derby
floppy
hat.
And if I got something like a sundress like that, I also, if I'm in the sun for a while, I freckle a lot, so I get a lot of nice freckles on my body.
Oh
It
man.
would really
Nice.
This sounds like I need to take you on a picnic in a sundress.
I know.
Like,
This would actually.
I want-
fantastic. I had
down
to
on
do
the
it.
river.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
want-
exactly. Right.
It's sort of strange because I was talking with someone last night about dresses, like me wearing a dress, and I said, I specifically said to them, I said, no to long and flowy, yes to short and slutty. Those were the situation that was required for me to wear a dress.
Fair enough.
Slutty.
Fair enough.
wanna be
That
like-
is the dress, Brandon? That is the Scott.
something like that.
I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Something classic.
I'm gonna go on the record and say that
Like-
she looks better than Scott would.
You don't know
Yeah.
yet, though. You don't know yet. I don't know. I mean, I would obviously not. I would not be. I would go on where I wouldn't eat for a month, and I'd just do like a water diet for a month. But I could get into that. I could.
If
look
I
good.
was emaciated, I could look great.
I could look good.
I think you could beat her out like post cleanse.
Post cleanse, yeah.
Man,
just a
if I
30
was half of my weight, I'd be hot.
yeah, that'd be easy.
All right.
I want Nick Fenton in a burqa.
Burka.
Yeah.
Full Burka.
You make it
You can
happen.
you can see his glasses. You know it's him. But
All right. Next question, and yes, it is a food question. ZC Napkin on Twitter.
Dumb
What's
question.
better, a crispy waffle or a fluffy waffle?
A crispy, fluffy waffle.
yeah,
Yeah,
crispy on the outside, fluffy on the
Yeah,
inside.
you can't
That's the
have.
I'm with you.
If
They
you
don't
have
have
to
to be
choose
exclusive.
one, I'm gonna go with crispy. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to just pick one though. But
If it's a shitty, like an Eggo frozen waffle, not that those are shitty, then crispy. But if it's like a homemade one, fluffy.
For sure.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't like going through an entire fluffy on the outside waffle. If it's like because a fluffy waffle is also like kind of chewy, which I don't think really complements waffle very well. Like I've had like what I felt was either undercooked or maybe the batter had bad ratios of some ingredient. Waffles where the whole thing is just like gummy almost. You know what I mean? which is
I know
not.
what you mean.
It's not
I think
good.
there's like a crispy. I think there's a nice happy medium between crispy and fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably like 70% fluffy, 30% crispy.
All right, I see that.
But we're
'Cause
saying
saying crispy by itself is really dangerous because you can literally turn a waffle into a rock.
That's true. Especially like an Eggo, man. You over toast an Eggo, you could fucking break a window with
the
that
other thing,
shit.
yeah, if you go too hard with an Eggo, then you just have to drown it in butter right off
If
the
you
bat.
go too hard with an Eggo,
Wait, and you didn't say you said drown in butter. I thought you were gonna say drown in syrup, but no.
Oh
you went drown in
no!
butter.
You get the butter layer
Oh.
first, so when it's
Oh.
hot.
You do
No.
butter
Oh,
first.
it's
No,
delicious.
no, you're just a little bit.
Oh, butter
No, Brandon,
first.
back me up, dude. Come on.
Listen,
butter
there is
first.
no wrong amount of butter and syrup
Thank
to put
you.
on a waffle.
boy, this shop is terrifying.
It is very much personal taste. Personally, I always do butter first, and
I
I'm
will
not light
literally
on the
eat-
butter.
Do you guys do like fruit toppings or anything, or do you just go strictly butter and
At home,
syrup?
I'm just a butter and syrup guy.
I will sometimes forego the syrup for just a nice layer of butter. I do that multiple times with Eggo.
You'll forgo syrup.
I'll
on a
forgo syrup
waffle?
altogether. I will.
Oh, man,
I'll eat it
no.
like a piece
I-
of toast.
I will never butter an Eggo. I will butter a
Really?
Belgian waffle though. I don't like butter that much. Which was why I originally had a big problem with Denny's.
Oh.
Denny's really likes butter, but a big
Yeah,
like
so does
Belgian
America.
waffle.
America loves butter. Yeah,
My dogs love butter.
Every dog loves butter.
your dogs would make great butter.
It's for a Belgian waffle, fruit on top is. I don't go with it often, but when I do, it replaces the syrup and the butter. I think that's all I'm gonna go
You
with.
guys ever put crispy fried chicken on top of your waffle? That's,
Oh, yeah.
That's,
chicken and waffles is amazing.
I have never done chicken and waffles.
I was
It's
okay.
fantastic.
Good.
It's
Good. Really good, sweet and salty.
You used to live in the home of Roscoe's, Scott.
Oh
so
yeah, no, I
you
was
should-
saying
you
it
should
like
know.
I was saying it like if you're at home, you're not gonna do that, but if you ever go
What?
out and get
You can do
Oh
it at
God,
home.
no, I would screw that up.
I mean, if you want to,
Brandon knows his limits.
It's one of
Smart,
the.
man.
I think chicken and waffles is one of those things that, if done wrong, it can really sour your taste for chicken and waffles.
I usually would only get that at a restaurant personally. I've never done it myself at home. But
All right. Next question, and this question involves Dragon Ball Z, which I think is a first in 203 episodes. Josh G writes in, if you could spend 1 year training one specific thing inside Dragon Ball Z's hyperbolic time chamber, where 1 year in the chamber equals 1 day outside, what would it be? For example, you could develop your physical fitness or gain 1 year's worth of skill or experience in a specific video game. So basically, it's going to accelerate
right.
that training.
Right.
So if you could spend 1 year, so 365 days, which would be equal to 365 years of experience in one thing, what would it be?
So I actually disappear for a year in this situation as the person answering this question. You
I
know, just-
believe so.
So we who are answering the question, we actually disappear for a year and then come back and are awesome and everything. And I guess we're assuming we didn't lose our job in that time.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
You'll have
you'll
job skills when you're back. You'll have skills when you return.
Movie references. I never get to do those. I don't really watch movies. And I only started watching movies recently, and I miss every single movie or actor reference. Every single one. I don't get it.
That's what you would choose
Yes.
if you could shrink down a year into 1 day.
Yes.
I would.
You're-
Oh no! Wait. You were saying
Oh, did I say it wrong?
we're not going to be
I'm-
here. We're not going to be gone.
You're
a whole
just
year.
gone
We're
for
only
a
gonna be
day.
On a day,
For a day, but we'll
but
have
you
an
have
entire.
the experience of a year.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll have an
all right.
entire year.
I'm sorry.
Again,
I misphrased. That's my fault.
if overnight I was just great at movie quotes, damn, I would become a perfect human being. I'm great at
Really?
everything else.
Is that
already.
the only thing that's holding you back from being
Yeah.
perfect? Is the movie quotes?
Yeah.
You're
I'm already better than you at every video game.
Yeah.
It's
Dang.
not true at all.
I'd learn to be a master in fushigi.
I don't know what that is.
What is fushigi? I'm scared to look it up. I'm not typing it in. What is that?
It's just a ball that it's a shitty illusion, and it's supposed to look like
Oh.
you're rolling the ball on it on your arm. I want to be a
God.
master.
That's actually worse
Fushigi
than mine.
master.
It's actually significant.
Fushigi! That's the infomercial. It looks like the ball is floating, but it's your fingertips are on it the whole time.
It's pretty remarkably awful. Yep.
It's just a mirrored ball with like glass around it.
Oh my
So
God.
so like when you hold it like in your fingertips, it kind of looks like it's like floating there, but it's just not.
Okay.
If you're like not really dumb, you're like, oh, it's just a ball.
In a square. Okay.
It's like a $35.
Yeah, real answer. I'd probably like learn a language, become fluent in something.
That's a pretty good
you wouldn't
Yeah,
become
that would
fluent.
be
You wouldn't be able
like,
to in a year.
A
You
real
could do a
good,
good chunk.
a good start on any language.
Honestly,
I think you could
the
definitely become fluent in a year. If
in
that's
a
like
year?
what you
Like,
spent,
if
if
it's
that's
hard
what
to
you
learn.
spent your time on.
If you spent if you spent like the entire year not sleeping,
Yeah.
sure.
this
That's how this works.
the problem with this question is that it's inherently flawed because you would basically just be
Because it
spending
involves
a
Dragon
year.
Ball Z.
It's because Dragon Ball Z characters are like they're all hyper focused on a singular purpose. We are not. We're actual human beings. Spending a year doing any one thing, even though you would save a lot of actual time, you would still have to worry about. Like if I did nothing but study a language or nothing but work out for a year, I would be immensely bored and just miss my friends and family. So I don't really want to do this anyway.
But
And
guess
I
the
get
question
the
is,
feeling
do
I would
you-
end up spending a year inside and come out no better or worse at anything else except maybe social interaction because I've been in seclusion for a year.
I guess the
So-
question is because I'm not familiar enough with the hyperbolic chamber from Dragon Ball Z. I think the question hinges on whether or not you experience the year in normal time, but when you
Yeah.
come out of it, it's only been a day, or if you
if it's
experience that whole year as if it's a regular day.
If
So
it's
that,
like I fucking plug in like Neo and it's like I know Kung Fu, sure, I'm about that.
Yeah,
Give
no,
me
no,
that.
no. It's not like that. You actually,
No.
literally, the
Yeah.
only reason the hyperbolic time chamber is used in Dragon Ball Z is to extend the amount of time they have to fight an enemy because they basically
Oh,
literally
okay.
needed a training montage moment, and they didn't have time for a training montage moment, so they had this fucking plot device to just hide in
That's
for an
pretty
entire year,
awesome.
and it's only a day.
Props
so
to
like,
them.
should've
yeah, so, like,
had that
obviously-
Dragon Ball Z knowledge.
So they obviously had to put in the work because the whole point was they had to learn the fusion dance, which is really hard to do perfectly. So they had to put in the work and actually train for an entire year themselves, but on the outside it was only a day.
Okay.
It's
I
like the
think
theory
I
of
agree with you
relativity.
that I don't think it would be possible for me to even enter the chamber because that sounds awful.
I'm going cooking. I want to learn to cook.
The dance?
Yes, the cooking dance.
Yeah.
Not
You'll
making
definitely be
food.
a master chef after the year.
It's true.
A year would be plenty of time to learn how to cook, and you spend that whole year just eating good food.
Yeah, there you go. Owen D writes, in many travels, I've faced off with many philosophers from all parts of the globe.
Is that how you pronounce the name, Owen?
It is. I've asked
Okay.
this before.
I think maybe we've had a question from him before, and
Yeah.
we asked
Oing!
the same thing.
Yoing!
That's a name that just gives no fucks for whatever the English language is trying to do. It just doesn't care at all. Or maybe that's like
He's
the problem.
Irish, so
Oh, okay.
there you go.
All right. That is not Owen to me. That's crazy. It's nuts.
In many travels, I've faced off with many philosophers from all parts of the globe. While many of their questions are trivial in their nature, one has stuck with me in its importance. This is so specific for an action. KBMOD, if you could kick one historical figure in the taint while wearing a steel-toed boot, who would it be and why? That's such a specific form of, like, fuck you, that
Yeah.
it's like,
Mine's super easy though because
okay.
I don't know. I would kick Helen Keller in the taint before she learned to communicate because there's a couple of reasons for that.
Okay,
One,
all
she
right.
she would have no clue what the fuck happened to her at all. Secondly, she can't tell anybody about it because she hasn't yet learned to communicate. And also, did you see
She
what
could
her
tell
views...
someone after she learns. She'll be like, hey, this one time, this fucking guy kicked me in the fucking taint.
I know, but she has no clue. She doesn't know who I am. She can't describe me. And if you look at Helen Keller's views, as she has some real not okay views about what to do with people who are, born
The point of this
retarded.
question is not to commit the perfect crime.
It is for Scott, okay? That is the point.
I don't know if it's up to you to decide what the point of this question is, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I'm saying. Oh, okay. That's
a
how I
different
interpreted
agenda.
it.
All I'm learning about is Scott's sadistic nature. That like he would take this one
Scott-
opportunity
Scott
to
would
just
take-
like have a laugh at Helen Keller's expense.
I think it was
Scott literally said he would take this one opportunity to hurt a disabled person because they couldn't retaliate. Because there would be no consequence.
No, I'm saying you go look. Everyone's like, oh, Helen Keller did all these great things. She did. However, she also has some real shady stuff in her diaries and stuff about.
I love how you've researched this.
Oh, I'll tell you. I'm gonna. All right.
You could also do it to Hitler, and you could like be a
That's
national
true.
hero or
Here's the
something.
thing, though. Here's the thing about
who literally actually kill. It's like one thing to be full of hate.
See,
it's another to actually be so full of hate you start murdering people.
here's
Maybe Helen
the
Keller
deal.
could have if she wasn't disabled. I don't know.
Here's the deal. Hitler is pointless for this. Okay?
Yeah.
Hitler is
Too
pointless
easy
for
an
this.
answer.
You're not killing him. You're just giving him a terrible bruise and some discomfort
hold on.
for a while.
You don't know that it's steel
Yeah, I
toe.
don't-
You could break it. You could break a pelvis. You could fuck a dude up.
I mean, I
They
suppose
didn't
you
have
could.
nearly as advanced medical care as we do now. I think you could maybe
I
not
could.
kill them.
You could
but
at least
do
put
some
Hitler in a
real
wheelchair.
damage.
You could put Hitler in a fucking wheelchair, dude. That would be sick.
I honestly think if you broke his pelvis that way, he would probably just spend the rest of his life like sitting on pillows and having little like follow him around like, oh, nein, Führer is about to sit down.
What would happen would be I would kick Hitler in the taint, but it would be behind closed doors. And then when when his pelvis broke, and everybody's like, "How did you break Hitler's pelvis?" I'd be like, "I fucked him. I fucked him and broke his hip.
He's into that shit.
Fucked the Fuhrer until his body broke."
I mean, no one would believe you, and he would deny it. But
He'd be in a wheelchair.
so he's just saying he's in a skiing accident. I don't think that your accusation. You don't think Hitler you don't think he faced some like false accusations in his rise to power? He was a politician before he was like a criminal or a genocidal, like world dominating overlord guy.
All right, fine. You've swayed me out of this answer. My
Sorry.
answer is now I'm going to kick Scott kicking Helen Keller.
I'm not gonna lie. Doing some research on Helen Keller, and she was a pretty upstanding girl. So this makes
Yeah, she was.
What the fuck
are you
are
on
you
about?
talking about?
I couldn't tell if you actually knew that she was actually like a racist or something, but I had always heard she was a good person.
No, she did a lot of great things, and however, maybe I was on one of my like conspiracy nights on YouTube, and I was like, wait, dude, and I probably watched something that wasn't true about Helen Keller.
Probably.
And then it stuck with me, but I still think, yes, I'm still going to stick to my answer.
Did you mean someone else like Ayn Rand or something?
Maybe no. It's God. There's something. I got something on Helen Keller
Like,
that no one has, but I can't
Scott's
find
like
it.
reevaluating his whole
Schools all
his
over
whole
the country
position.
they take children to a play based on her life. Like you don't like she's
Yeah.
gonna be a decent person.
No, I'm not questioning that she's a decent person. I like the fact that she wouldn't be able to tell anybody about what happened until later. But then,
like
even then,
most
is
horrible
there,
thing.
Rose said it. Is there a sign for taint? She may never be able to tell anybody.
I think
I
kicking
mean,
someone
there's
who's...
probably a word for the anatomical like location, like
She could-
whatever. Like
I think kicking someone who's nice is a better idea.
Yeah, that's what all
Because
I'm
I
trying to say.
kind of want to see how they react. Like, I would kick Mr. Rogers in the taint.
no,
I just
absolutely
want to
not.
see what's happening. Yeah,
That's
I
a
want to
good-
I wouldn't
see
be able to do
how
it.
he's been.
Could you break
He's
him?
such a nice guy on TV and revered as such a nice guy. What happens if you jack him up? What happens? How's Fred
What
gonna
happens
react?
if you jack him off?
God, don't please.
Is he gonna jizz all over his sweater? Who knows? He's got 20 in the closet anyway. He has fucking replacements. It's fine. I'll wash it in the fucking aquarium in the kitchen.
Mr. Rogers, it's not okay.
Remember when they always send it off to the fucking train land or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like, here's a fucking made up place, kids. Back to the old dude in his fucking living room.
There's a good idea.
Land of Make Believe is what it was called. I think.
And
Fine, Adam Sandler. All right, kick him in the taint multiple times.
Adam
That-
Sandler is
that'd
not
be-
a historical figure. We go through this every time.
He's a person that has lived in his.
Historical figure.
no one on this
He's pretty
podcast.
historical.
Yeah, he's only relevant in this current, very unfortunate lifetime.
Man successfully. I just saw this shop. This man successfully reheats Taco Bell shop. Anyway, last question. Gecko12 asks, what is your proudest achievement within gaming and how much time did you put into it?
Playing Destiny.
Just in general. Just launching the game.
180 hours.
Boom.
Great story.
I think I was telling this story yesterday because like we were kind of reminiscing about like Call of Duty's past, but I used to be really good at specifically free for all in Modern Warfare 2 on PC, like stock vanilla, which was my first FPS on PC. So I had just built a gaming PC. Modern Warfare 2 just came out, and I had never played a PC game. I mean, I played like Diablo 2 and stuff, but I never played like an FPS, like Counter-Strike or anything.
Yeah.
Never. So I didn't have that skill set, and I definitely didn't I didn't know my way around a server browser even a little bit. So actually, the fact that Modern Warfare 2 was basically like shitty peer-to-peer connections and matchmaking was perfect for me because I didn't have the intimidation of a server browser to get past in order to get into it. I was right at home because I'd only played online on like Xbox and shit, right? So I ended up getting really good at it, and I ended up getting a nuke medal entirely in free-for-all. 10 nukes in free-for-all, which a nuke was a 25 kill streak, and in free-for-all, it only plays to 30. So if you got past 5 kills that game and then died, you could not get a nuke. So getting a nuke in free-for-all, very, very difficult. That's probably...
Okay.
And I was for a while, my KD was like 6.5. Like, I was fucking ridiculous at PC Modern Warfare 2 back in the day. I was accused of hacking multiple times on a daily basis. That's probably the game in the grand scheme of the player base, that I was best at.
When I rented World at War for the Nintendo Wii, I had a 6.0 KD. And I'm not even joking. That is an actual. I rented it from fucking Blockbuster.
Nice.
Played it for like 4 hours. Had a fucking 6 KD. Fucking stomping on those kids on that Wii.
He's
Waving my arms around.
around.
Got that nunchuck out.
The image of you playing fucking
Playing against like elementary school children.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any FPS game on the Wii?
No.
Oh, God. Yeah,
It's
I've watched it on
amazing.
YouTube. It looks terrible.
There was a Medal of Honor game that I had, and the way it happened was you had to have the Wii remote level with the ground, and when you tilted it like on its axis, that was how you leaned in the game because it actually had a lean function.
Oh
but
God.
no one's resting position for the controller is ever like directly like parallel with the ground. So everybody's walking around like a fucking Tetris piece on Medal of Honor. It's fucking hilarious. Like everybody's leaned over.
Yours is way more impressive than mine.
You see the top half of everybody's body before they come around the corner. I should find some footage of that.
Oh my God. I want you to do a Road to Commander on Wii.
Yeah,
World
you
at
really
War.
should.
I don't even have my Wii anymore.
It's alright, the server probably shut down anyway. Dear God. Oh, I don't
Mine's weird. Mine's not even necessarily because of the skill, but I've talked about this before, but Driver 2, I love
my
the
God.
original Driver.
What, do you mean playing through the game? Because
Yeah,
that was an accomplishment.
Yeah, well, I beat the game, but the problem was with Driver 2, it constantly crashed. It was horribly optimized, and it constantly overheated and crashed my original PlayStation. So I would get to the same part, and every time it would crash. This multiple times. When I finally got a PS2, that actually got past the crashes, and I actually finally beat the game. But that was like 2 years after the PS2 had been out, and that was like I was just like, oh my God, I finally wrote this one off my fucking list because I was just so upset about it. But that one's more like of a tech issue than anything else. Actually, that's not true. That is not true. I'm sorry. I just realized what it was. Deadly Premonition, the director's cut on PC.
Actually,
Played through that entire fucking game through crashes. It is the most insane. Deadly Premonition is the most insane game you'll ever play. I literally, at one point, I broke down in tears. I was laughing. I was crying. Deadly Premonition is my greatest accomplishment ever. And I did that on stream, but it took like 2 weeks. So, to Deadly Premonition. Yeah.
jeez. I don't know, man. I don't know what my best achievement is. I don't know.
Yours
Nothing.
Probably, I would say yours is reaching Gladiator.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I reached General, rank 12 in a while.
That's right. That's
There you
right.
go.
And I was like a week away from rank 13, and I just could not keep up with the bots. I was like, I'm throwing in the towel, man. Like, we've told this story a million times, but John would play the character when I went to bed for about 8 to 12 hours, and then I would wake up and play it the rest of the day. And that was the only way we were able to keep up with bots.
Same.
So, like, just queuing over and over again, doing the same thing over and over again, 24 hours a day. But yeah, Yeah. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And good. Both, I guess. Fenton has found his footage.
It's really terrible quality.
That and successfully reheating Taco Bell. But that's not a video game. But
It looks so fucking terrible. It's the fucking worst. Look at the texture.
Look at
can't
just
click
wait,
on
just
it.
wait till
I can't click on
like
it.
8 minutes. There's a firefight at 8 minutes, and
This
it's
guy
fucking
can't hit anything.
insane.
I would say mine. Mine, it's hard to pick between all of the accomplishments I've had in gaming.
Okay.
But I think mine is if you open a new tab, if you go to google.com,
Yes.
and if you just type the phrase, if you want to do it now, you're welcome to. If you want to type the phrase, ski like a boss,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
and you hit enter,
there it is.
the top result.
And you hit enter.
That's
It's
what's
at
right.
Thanks for
293
walking
now?
me through how to get to the
Jesus,
video.
it is higher than actual skiing videos.
God,
That is my proudest achievement.
That is
Nice.
Wow.
That's if we're counting like the YouTube days and stuff, I would say like my job, like
That's pretty good.
that's by far the greatest thing I've ever done with gaming, anything. But also like if you want to talk YouTube, I had the top search return for just the word Pokemon on YouTube.
That's fucking impressive, to be honest.
For like 8 months. I beat out like a Smosh video, a animation from Ego Raptor, and it was the first episode of my Leaf Green Let's Play back on my old network TGN, which I still can't say without laughing. But yeah, that was probably like my job is like realistically the highest, but I'm gonna say my nuke medal from Free for All anyway.
Ski
I'm still
Like a
gonna
Boss
stick with the free
has
for all nuke medal.
6.49 million results, and Google deems the top one to be my video.
yeah, that's pretty nuts.
All right. That is it for viewer questions. It's, of course, one more part of this podcast remaining. Brandon?
Yeah. So, that image took me by surprise, and I put it in here. So we have
These names are killing me.
each week we
trying not to
shout
look.
out some people that review the podcast on iTunes, and iTunes, there are multiple podcast services out there. We do this live every week on Twitch, but if you can't catch it for any reason live, we do post the podcast every week to iTunes. So if you're not subscribed to it, you should go do that. But then you should also go, and while you're there in iTunes anyway, you're looking at the KBMOD listing, leave us a review, and maybe we'll feature it. And we've had a lot of awesome reviews in the past. We look forward to yours. The only rule is that it has to be 5 stars, because those are the only ones we look at. If you rate it something else, we just won't look at it. You're not going to be featured. I probably will remember your name. And if I ever see you at a convention or something, I will look down upon you. I won't tell you about it, but I'll remember.
You'll notice he's squeezing your hand a little too hard for the introductory handshake.
Yeah. You'll have to live with the wonder of like, does he remember that I was the one that did this? And the answer will be yes. So let's not even cross that bridge. 5 stars. The content is up to you. We've had poems. We had last week we featured some criticism from someone who had a problem with the cast. That's fine. We will take that constructive criticism. Sometimes it can just be a funny story. It can be really anything. It's your time to shine. So 5 stars. Leave us a review, and you might get featured on a future podcast.
All right. So there were apparently many reviews that could have qualified this week from such luminaries as
God.
it's not even as John Feff Kennelly.
It's just
John Feff Kennelly.
Kennelly. Yeah.
Come
Kennelly.
Cuckold Hodes, which is just a combination of words that you never want to hear. Kenmore Cuckingstein, the esteemed professor, Kenmore Cuckingstein.
Kenmore Cuckingstein gets me. I just
And
like that.
yo boy from the hood also left a review. That could be anyone.
Kenmore Cuckingstein.
Kenmore Cuckingstein.
I think I like
It's so
that one the
fancy.
most because that seems like it could be a real name.
Like it could be a professor.
Like I have questions about some of these other names. I can't tell. I can't tell whether they're real or not. But that one seems real.
That could be a British dude somewhere. Kenmore Cuckingstein. Duke Kenmore Cuckingstein.
Yeah.
Of House
you put Duke in
Cuckingstein.
front of it.
And
oh my god, this next.
the title of this week's review is Metacriticism. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be deep or not.
But the name.
The name. From a Ms. Amanda Jam. It's so dumb. By a Ms. Amanda Jamadinya. Amanda Jamadinya. And
Well,
Jamadinya.
this review. I'm clawing out of this tiny morsel of attention. Wait, okay. I'm clawing out for this tiny morsel of attention in an attempt to validate my existence and apply an inkling of purpose in my inconsequential life. Redacted. Final portion of this has been redacted
officially.
by an editor. And there's been an editor's note placed on this review as I was reading it, and it says, "Don't reveal the location of where you can find these memes. Let the dream live."
That's right.
That's the message, and that's kind of a message we can all take into our everyday lives. You know?
Amanda Jamadinya.
Amanda Jamadinya. It does sound like an off-brand syrup. Thank you. Aunt Jamadinya.
Oh god.
Yeah. That'll do it for this week on the KBMOD podcast, episode 203. We will be back officially on this podcast on... I'll give you...
Yatta! Oh, sorry.
Oh, shit, wrong. It's a little early. Premature
A
Yatta.
little early.
On September 7th. That will be the
premature
next...
exclamation.
That will be the next official podcast, although we may have a stream from PAX if we can get it running. So, but it won't be an official podcast. So episode 204 will be on September 7th. So yeah, there you go. You can follow us on Twitter at KBMOD Gaming. Make sure you check out the webpage, kbmod.com. You can check out our Twitter story to Scott on the website if you have not checked that out yet.
Yes, that was a very interesting time in my timeline as I was driving. I just saw all of them coming
Phone
up.
exploding.
It did, yeah.
So, yeah, that is it. And we'll see you guys on September 7th. Good
Farewell.
night.
Yeah.